All right. My audio levels are all right, so I'll get going here. Hello, America. My name is Timothy Charles Homeseth, and if you're familiar with my story, that's kind of been out there now for a while, you'll probably most recently know me as the journalist that journalistically infiltrated Jeffrey Epstein's operation, and I uncovered an international child sex trafficking operation that was working with Jeffrey Epstein and the Clintons. And now, a little more background. Right now, I'm facing criminal charges in Polk County, Minnesota, filed against me by the East Grand Forks Police Department. They've already put me in jail several times for things that I published. And the most recent, and I should also add that just for anybody who might be just dropping in on the story, I'm presently being hidden and protected by a congressional task force. Now, the most recent disclosure that our team made was we had to wait for the Epstein thing to drop. We knew it was coming, but we had to wait for it to drop. After it dropped, if you go back through my past videos, or even my most recent interview with Daniel John Lee, and I was also on Able Danger. You'll get some background there too, but you'll see that I released the fact that nobody knew that, when they arrested me for in Minnesota, they arrested me for publishing already public court files, which doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Because it's not against the law, right? Well, what I revealed was just a tiny bit of what was in those files. It was this. I'm going to read it for you. It says, line item 72 said, at the time in question, Rothstein, Rosenfeld, and Adler was under RICO investigation. The federal racketeering investigation stemmed from attorney Scott Rothstein's involvement with convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, who operated the notorious pedophile island and flew in elites such as President Bill Clinton to allegedly rape children. That was contained with the evidence that I had. By the way, I was deemed a credible FBI witness by the Minneapolis FBI. I was interviewed by the Minneapolis FBI at the request of the Jacksonville, Florida FBI regarding information that I obtained about the kidnapping of Haley Ann Marie Cummings in Florida, and also information I had about the Casey Anthony case, that little girl Kaylee. You never got the true story on that either. Anyway, that's the background. Now that the Epstein thing has dropped, we've got some more information that I'm gonna reveal for the first time. And I'm going to do that right now. Now, I've been covering this international child trafficking and operation and I've been under assault by the deep state for 10 years. And if you're familiar with my content and things, you'll see that they use the telephone numbers of President Donald Trump to call me and threaten me. I could go on and on. They've threatened my family. They've threatened my children. They've threatened to kidnap my granddaughter. They've done all kinds of stuff to me. And through this, the police department in East Grand Forks, Minnesota is absolutely obsessed with me. And the city attorney there, his name is Ronald I. Galstead, Esquire, he calls himself. He's with Galstead, Jensen, and McCann, but he performs city attorney services for the city of East Grand Forks. And he's relentlessly prosecuting me. And I'm not going to get into the cases themselves, except for I haven't broken any law, and he knows it. So I'm facing trial right now. But the contention by the government against me is what they've done in their malicious defamation against me has always been to tell the public that I'm just crazy. I needed a psych eval. I had to take a psych eval, and by the way, I passed it with flying colors. In fact, I passed 4 of them with flying colors. That they finally ran out of gas on that. So Ronald Galstead has been trying everything he can, along with these members of this extended operation have been doing everything they can to try to convince you, the American public, don't believe that author. Don't believe Timothy Charles Homestead. Don't believe him. And what one of the biggest thrusts that they're doing there is they're trying to convince the public that he's crazy. Don't pay any attention to him. He's not really a news reporter, because I always identify myself as an award-winning news reporter, and anyway, so I'm going to show you some information about that. Prosecutor Galstead prosecuted me for publishing already public court records that included information I obtained during journalistic interviews about the Clintons, Jeffrey Epstein, and an international child sex trafficking operation. And this stuff went into the court file all the way back in 2017 in Minnesota, so they've known about it for a long time. Now, Prosecutor Galstead authored a legal brief wherein he suggested I had no association with reputable publications. I'm gonna show you something in a minute. And also during a trial that was brought forth by Prosecutor Ronald Galstead, the jury was told I wasn't really a news reporter. I'd never been a news reporter. That's what the jury was told. That's what they told them about me. So first, what I have in my hand here is it was authored by Ronald Galstead, and it's titled Brief in Opposition of Motion to Dismiss. It's pretty thick. And I'm not holding it up to the camera so as that certain words don't get shown, because anyway, I have to do that. I'm going to read you just a few lines of this is authored by Ronald Galstead under the caption that says facts. Here's Ronald Galstead's facts. Defendant currently resides in East Grand Forks, Minnesota. That was correct at the time. Timothy Homestead has no affiliation with any media outlet, newspaper, television, or radio station. So Ronald Galstead presented to the Minnesota court under facts. He also went on to say that I published information on my own website, Right Into Action, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and recently QAnon, which is a claimed conspiracy theory by an alleged, quote, deep state against U.S. President Donald Trump and his supporters. It was also authored by Ronald Galstead. Okay. So according to Ronald Galstead, under his facts, Timothy Homestead has no affiliation with any media outlet, newspaper, television, or radio station. Okay. Our team is now releasing Epstein happened, and now we are releasing, for the first time, I've never shown this before. This came directly from the North Dakota Newspaper Association, and I'm going to hold it up to the camera so you can perhaps read it. I'm just looking this over. I don't want anything to get shown that I don't want to get shown. What you're going to see is it says reporting series, because that's what I won. The award that one of the awards. I've won many awards. I'm only showing you one of them. This is about news reporting. A reporting series is it's not just reporting one story for the newspaper. It's when a news reporter covers a single story that's a very big story, and that reporter covers it. In this instance, I covered a situation that involved a school board in Breckenridge, Minnesota, and there was a lot of stuff going on. To the point that Fox News was there, I think, I know that the Fargo TV stations would show up for these hearings. It was a big deal. It was a very large story. And I won an award for my coverage of that. I covered it for a year as a news reporter. And I'm going to hold this up. It says, first place, the Daily News, Wahpeton, Breckenridge School Board, Timothy Homestead. I'll try to get this so I can, you see it there? First place. And that's not the only first place award I've won. The thing is like my father said to me once, he said, I don't work for honors. I do what I do for the Lord, my father told me. And that's what I'm doing. So I never wanted to showboat that I work for awards, because I don't, but now you know. So the prosecutor in Minnesota, Ronald Galstead, who's bringing me to trial again, stated under his facts, I had no affiliation with any media outlet, newspaper, television, or radio station. That's only a drop in the bucket of the lies that have been told by Ronald I. Galstead, Esquire, the city attorney, who is in violation of the Hobbs Act, which means he is using his position. He's just a little city attorney, but he's using his position to prosecute people, particularly me. And when he's doing this, he's actually in violation of the Hobbs Act. And if you look up the Hobbs Act, what you're going to see is that under the color of official right, this man has repeatedly kidnapped me and placed me in their for-profit private prison in Polk County, Minnesota. And then after he had me in there, he tried to make me sign a confession, which I would not do. I'm not going to go into any more details about it. We are releasing now what I just showed you. I am an award-winning news reporter, and if they don't like it, they can go argue with the North Dakota Newspaper Association. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Ronnie. See you in court.